They normally call him Nima.
Yeah, very fantastic. They have Isaac Opont, who was also there. Because of injury, he didn't play most of the time. But the beautiful thing that I saw with the forward is between Infege and Mbella.
Okay.
If you look at
Is it because they speak the same language?
One, it can be that because they understand their language. Because, for
example, it's not every day that
it's not every day. It's not every day, but most of the assists, Infege is there to give him the assist. Okay. It's not every day that I play. Gamma has played some of the games. We've seen Isaac Opon, who has also played some of the games. And I'm talking about the partnership between Infege and Bella. Most of the games, you see how they play so beautiful. Okay. They understand their movement of the pitch, and I'm saying their language may even help them because, for example, if you have defenders and then they are communicating their language, how will you understand it? You won't.
Of course.
That's why most of the time we say Ghana.
But you see, the players don't normally talk.
Yeah,
they talk with their legs.
They talk with their language.
Here's the thing. For example, you may get some, but the signature and certain things, you know your player. And for example, when they are in the dressing room or something, they might be talking about something. Okay, when we go on the pitch, because football is not only on the pitch, but behind they can talk about when I get the ball, I want to do this. So those kind of communication, and it's easier for them to communicate with each other than communicating with other Ghanaians because they don't understand the tree.
Okay.
The English might not come like that. So if you are having your language, you feel like, oh yeah, this is my home. Even with international players, when you are in.
So Mbella seems to have come into the Premier League and seems to be getting all the talks. Everybody is mentioning him. Tell me, if Mbella decides to naturalize for Ghana, or decides to become a Ghanaian, do you think he can get a role in the Ghana Black Stars? George,
naturalizing, we have to agree. I don't know, but if
I'm asking you a straight question. Mention it. Asking if he decides to naturalize.
If he agrees, I don't think we'll take Mbella over Yawano. Yawano is our own. But if he naturalized, I think he's a good player that he can adapt to the Blasters because for a very long time that Samoajan left the scene, we haven't had that kind of a goal poacher, a box-to-box striker, someone that doesn't give you only goals, give you penalty accuracy. When you look at some of the penalties that Kumasi Asante Kotoko, when you look at the way and manner that Mbella was able to stand behind the penalty and pick a spot directly and convert them, I think it gives the whole team a support, gives the whole team that kind of morale that whenever there's a ball, we know this is the guy that will put the ball inside the net. If he naturalizes and gets into the Blasters, I think you prove a lot. You adapt to the Blasters. You augment the squad that we have, and I think it can take us to another level.
Okay, so you're on Sports Drive here on Hstv. My name is Joseph Lovelace Kojo in Cancer. I'm sitting in for Precious Azuma, irregular host, and I'm here in the studio with Eugene Dankwa, a sports analyst, and George Entry, sports journalist. And we're discussing. We started with the Ghana Premier League, Kotoko getting the ultimate, trophy for the league. So we're going to move on to talk about their preparation towards the Champions League in Africa. But let me remind you that we'll be discussing Sadio Mane's switch from Liverpool to Bayern Munich, and we'll also be looking at we'll try and look at the Black Stars and some teams, some players willing to want to play for the Black Stars. Who are the new ones which are coming? Otto Addo is supposed to announce some of his players, and this someone indicated, I will be reading the text message that I have here, that Otto Addo made some promise and he has to redeem it. But back onto the court. Everybody thought Serena was finished, but she's back and she's doing wonderfully well. We'll try and see whether we can speak a bit about Serena. But if there is any sports person or sportswoman I have a crush on, is Serena Williams. So we'll be trying to see whether we can discuss her a bit. But we have had teams go to Africa, and we've seen the results. It was not a good result for Ghana at all. House of Oak went to represent us. This year Kotoko is going. Looking at the history, what do you think is going to be Kotoko's plight when they go to Africa.
Looking at the issue, Kotoko went there before Accra Folk. When I think 2 seasons ago, Kotoko went there before Accra Folk went there. I think the African football has changed. The development of African football and the teams that we have, the Simbas, the Orlando Pirates, the Rangers, the Zamaleks, they've developed, they've understood the dynamics of the game. They've taken the standard of African football to another level. And I think the Ghana Premier League is not learning. The Ghana Premier League to meet the African standard of the football. Here lies the case that the Ghana football, the Ghana Premier League alone, we don't even have a title sponsorship. How much alone? Look at our pitches. Accra Sports Stadium plays about within a week. Look at the number of teams that plays at Accra Sports Stadium. Our pitches are not well doesn't meet standards requirement for players to play on. To the extent that sometimes we have to go and play some of the league at Ewak Sports Stadium. You look at the length of Ewak Stadium. Can it accommodate this kind of players? If you don't test the waters here and you go and meet TP Mazembe, can you play with TP Mazembe? Can you play with Orlando Pirates? How much capacity do you have? How much money or resource do you have to even buy players from outside that you can come and compete with this kind of players? We are here that Egyptians come and buy our play. Egyptian teams come and buy our players.
I'm told by my producer that he's going to put on the celebration were declared the winners of the GPL. So let's catch that one and then we'll get back to the discussion. Okay, so that was the celebration, and you notice that the crowd or the supporters were trying to outdoor the players one by one, and Mbela was on song, Infege, and Agadas with Nati. I remember he was the guy a boxer went to fight on his behalf and hit someone, and virtually lost his license from fighting again. Okay, so show Sports Drive here on Hstv, and I'm your host, sitting in for Precious Zuma, Joseph Lovelace, Kojo and Kansa. You can just call me Counselor. I'm in the studio with Eugene Dankwa and Godwin Entry, George Entry. So yes. Eugene Dankwa and George Entry, we're doing a discussion on the GPL, and we're looking at Kotoko's preparation towards Africa. And usually you were saying that the Zamaleks, the Tour de Sahel, and George, you were saying that those teams are already.
Yeah, I was on that tragedy. But first of all, congratulations to Kumasi and Asante Kotoko. Their celebration in Kumasi is something different. I think they should build on it. So let's see more competitive league in the upcoming season. Let me even build on this celebration. I think on this celebration, if Kumasi and Asante Kotoko is able to qualify from the of the and they go to the group stage and even to the money zone, I think that will bring a more joy to the Kumasi base or the Porcupines than what is even happening now, and it's even change the dynamics and the structure of Ghana football. But I was talking about the TP Mazembe and I was talking about the Zamalek because these are one structured football team that they are in, because TP Mazembe and the Zamalek have even jet when they are traveling. You ask yourself, once when the cast of folk that we call ourselves traditional clubs that we are in the Ghana Premier League, to even have those resources to even combat what you have in Africa. I think when it comes to resource, we don't have enough. When it comes to
are you saying we don't have enough?
When it comes to
are you saying we don't have enough, or people have enough in their pockets and they are not releasing it? They're not funding the teams.
For somebody for an investor to invest into something, then the investor has seen that what I'm investing my money in is something good that is going to bring me profit.
Well, the people around the team, if they are not investors, why are not leaving the team for investors to come in? So if you are around the team and you cannot fund it,
so if you are packaging the team, if you are packaging the club or you are packaging the team well, you get investors. And I think that's one thing that
what I mean is the owner of the club, that's the Tumfu Asante, must understand that the team should be managed well. Should be packaged.
He's doing. He got them. He got them the bus. He got them some sponsorship job. But I think Otunfo can't do that alone. It also forced the Ghana Football Association to also invest into the clubs, because if you have sponsorship because for you to get a sponsorship, definitely some money will be allocated to some of the players, and even ticketing alone and even branding the league well for people to go to stadium is a whole lot. You only see a crowded 40,000 capacity of Accra Sports Stadium only when Hassan Kotoko is playing. What's happening to Kotoko and Karela? What happens to Kotoko and 11 Wonders? So you have to brand the league that at least you can get revenue from. You can get revenue for that. I always say that, and I always say that we don't have enough resources to combat the other teams that they are developing in Africa, because does
it take money for a team to be of quality?
It takes money, because money buys players. Okay. Money buys resources. Okay. Money makes. If I renew my contract and you are giving me players depend on salary.
What about we developing the players from the scratch?
No, that one is also there. But what about if my salary is coming in, my bonuses is coming in every day, my salary is good. When I go on the pitch, if you tell me I should put my head on the ground,
the motivation.
Yes, it should be there. Incentive should be there, because if you look at the money that our own Ghana players, you see a player that is developing. Where did Kofi Koji go? He went somewhere in Qatar. You ask yourself, if the Ghana Premier League was good, will you move outside? If the Ghana Premier League is being paid well, will some of our players go to Albania, go to? Then Ghana started developing football. Where were those people? But because they've understood the game and they've branded the game well, they are bringing more shooters. Ask yourself, why?
Are you not saying that monies are leaking into people's pockets? and not going to reinvest in the team? Because the players we are selling, where are the money going to?
Yes, we have agencies.
So you are selling people, you are selling players, you are transferring players to teams which are unknown, and we don't see the impact of the transfer money on the team. You are blaming GFA.
But if you are an agent and you are selling, imagine UG is a player, you are selling UG to another team or something.
I see you are transferring.
The money comes to you. You are developing. Because
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, imagine you have a player.
So why are you blaming GFA?
I'm blaming them because GFA, Ghana Football.
You are looking at the general
the Ghana
outlook
Football
of the league.
The GFA goes down to what is happening under 17 now.
Okay.
If the Ghana Premier League is good,
and GFA should be able to monitor the funds that are coming into the game.
Yes.
And see whether the funds are being used for what they are supposed to.
We are even waiting. We are waiting. This season, before the season starts, they will go to Congress, and that Congress will all be there. We'll also bring our voices out because those transfer and everything, there have to be accountability. We have to know how.
Okay.
We have to know how the resources being generated into these clubs and what the GFA can do to also support the clubs that we have, because we need revenue. Okay. We need resources to finance this team. To even when the teams are going to Africa, they go to the president for the president to give them some additional money, because there's not enough money. They can't do alone. And I think
so. So my point is, are you saying there's not enough money?
We don't have,
or individuals are cashing in?
I can't see it. I don't have any evidence.
Okay, the evidence is that people are around the teams. There's no money, but they're still there. They are not quitting. So it means they're getting things. So if they're not getting it, quit. Let other people come, so they can do it.
But they are the managerial system of the club. They can't just go unless maybe
put their foot
so
on the ground.
Are you saying like maybe Otunfo should go or Togbe Afede to go?
No, Otunfo should be able to drive some people off if he's not getting enough funding from the activities they are doing.
Exactly.
He's not getting enough revenue, then you must tell him that the guys are not doing well.
Yes, so that's why it boils down to a whole marketing and strategy.
No, management
that you can put up, because the marketing is part of the management, because they are the one who brings the sponsorship into the club. Okay. And I think when you look at management and branding alone, Kumasi Asante Kotoko, for that I'll give them that credit. They are very good. Well. They are very, very good at all. You ask yourself, can you go to Accra Sofo cabinet trophy? When it was Accra Sofo's birthday, I don't want to go there. The things that they were showing, when it comes to branding, Accra Sofo is very, 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 very cool.
So when it comes to branding, Accra Sofo. So on that note, I'm moving right to the last match between Accra Sofo and Red Tamale United. Now all the news are out there. People have their views about what happened, and people think that the game was played in the boardroom. Whether it was and whether it was not, we're yet to see. So we're going for the clip or the highlights, and then when we come back, we'll do the discussion.
Kofi to start this one, and we are underway here at the Accra Sports Stadium. Referee Joseph Kofi starts the game for us. Hard to folk in possession. James Sowanu finds his captain Mo Alasa, who finds Frederick and Sabotwe with that touch to some attacks. Hard to folk on the border. Ushabu strikes one powerfully, but the ball inches away from the goal post. That was a good strike from Ushabu. Sambolinkum restarts the game for us, finds Daniel Efriebani, who has the ball back to Mo Alasa. Alasa goes long. A long searching ball is being chased by Suraj, who has an opportunity to open the scoring for Atafok. And that is the first goal of the game. Suraj Saidu. That was a mistake from Samuel Bauer. And Suraj Saidu capitalized on that and opens the scoring for Accra Atafok. We've only done 9 minutes here at the Accra Sports Stadium, and Hearts have taken the lead.
Well, that was the easiest goal you would have thought, because
there finds Rashid Alhassan, who sends the ball to Shafiq. Shafiq there sends it back to Rafiq Alhassan. Saddam Abagna on the ball now. Shafiq. Ball comes off the arm of Suraj Saidu. So it is a foul to RTU. So free kick being sent in by Saddam Abagna, and RTU have equalized there. Who else than the man Ronald Frimpong? He has been the savior of RTU for some time now. Beautiful ball that was sent in by Saddam Abagna, and the connection, and each perfect header from Ronald.
Had a beautiful header, well connected header to that well tailored cross from RTU. After folks, defenders were standing there, raising their hands, waiting for the referee's whistle.
But Hatofo coming forward again, ball with Suraj, who sends the shot there, and that is a beautiful goalkeeper. Yao Osei. This time around, Suraj Seidu could not beat him. But here it is 1-1 between Hearts and RTU. A long ball into the half of Hatofo. James Sewan, who tries to send it back. 2. And that is a penalty. Referee says the tackle from Richmond IE. Referee blows his whistle. Saddam Abagna there. And RTU have taken the lead. He sends Richmond IE the wrong way. 2-1 RTU. There was never an iota of doubt that Saddam Abagna would miss that one, knowing his track record as far as penalties are concerned.
Of course, he hasn't missed any of his penalty kick this season. And then when you need to restore your lead in a game like this, a crucial game like this, and you have the penalty to take you a 2-1 up, no other
folk, you peg them and are leading. A long ball over the top there to Issa Kuka, who has been the thorn in the flesh of Hatofo. And RTU have the third goal there. Ronald Frimpong. Ronald Frimpong gives RTU a third goal. That is the second of the day and the third for RTU.
Between Sewanyu and Larson, and then RTU takes advantage of that. A brace for Ronald Frimpong, and RTU.
Hatofo will need to defend their lines properly and will not want to concede a fourth there. A short one to Babaku Shebu, whose scarf shot went to Mohamed Sadat, but he flapped his lines. That is the end of the first half here at the Accra Sports Stadium. Referee Joseph Kofi says we've had enough of the first half. Joseph Kofi gets us underway for the second half. RTU Hatofo coming forward, trying to get something from this game, but loses out on possession. Saddam Abagna has space there, throws the ball through to Listowell. Listowell coming forward again, checks on to his left, and that is the fourth goal for RTU there. Listowell Amankuna, who came on for Ronald Frimpong. Mohamed Elassa is straight into the net. That could go down as an own goal.
Disappointing.
You can see that Mohamed Elassa is dejected. Shebu, who takes a shot, but flew just inches. He played that free kick. Samuel Lincoln. Ball was headed by Kofi Koji
at the Accra Sports Stadium by 4 goals to 1 against.
Well, welcome back. We are still on Sports Drive here on Hstv. My name is Joseph Loveless Kojo. I'm sitting in for Precious Zuma, and we're discussing a couple of things. We have discussed the Ghana Premier League, Kotoko winning the trophy, and then we're looking at House of Folk and Retama United. But I have a friend who says I should not mention his name, but says that he tapped into the phone lines of some important persons in Ghana, and he heard them call the House of Folk officials and say, let them and that was it. It just happened. But hey, we cannot independently confirm that as in Hstv. So you also have your view on what happened and how it happened. So you can also send your WhatsApp message to the number on my right side, and let us read it to the world. Or let me ask my guests if they have answers to that. But UG did that much have on the league table?
Oh, but it had so many impacts. But I wish before I even talk about the House of Folk and then West Ham United, talking about the Africa preparation and all that stuff. There's one thing that we are not really looking at, talking about keeping players in terms of money issue. In fact, the most important thing is the money. But here's the case: if you look at the success of other clubs in Africa, as we have the WAEC, we have the Ali. We are talking about consistency with the players in the team and how they are keeping the team to play for so many years, because the third party, they understand each and everybody in the team, so that helps them when they are moving forward. But if you look at our league, you assemble a team for 1 year and the next year we are seeing that you are selling our best players to other teams with are going to make impact with your team to Africa.
And exactly that is what I'm saying. If you are transferring players from your team at a very young age, or or I mean, so soon, they've not been in for long, one season they are going, it means there's something you're getting in there.
Yes,
and that something should come and impact on the team.
The issue is, if you bring in a new player, let's say you sold.
Now what I mean is that revenue, that resource,
the money that they sold, okay,
should come into impact.
So
for Kotoko, I can hold breath for them because they brought in 11 quality players and they are reaping.
Yes,
but last season they brought same about 12 or 11 quality players, and they didn't reap. So,
but it's worked for them this time.
He works on it. So I say he has to also bring 11 next season.
That's why I said so in play.
So the coach also did something.
But another thing that we have to
so retention. You are talking about retention. Good. How to retain our players for some time.
How to retain our players, or how to keep our players. For a typical example is Mbella now. I understand there are so many offers that are coming from Mbella. Teams outside Ghana or in Europe, some teams want him. But here's the case. The offer is good. The money is good, and there's no way, even me, if I'm a player and playing for the Premier League, and I have a very good offer coming from outside the country.
So what is your point? You say we should retain them.
No, here.
On the other hand, on one hand you say we should. I'm saying that on one hand you say we should retain them.
No, what is
on the other hand you are telling the players not to wait. They should be going.
I'm trying to build the point.
Okay,
I'm building. I want to finish the point. That's why I said there's one thing we are not looking at when it comes to revenue.
So which point are you supporting?
There's no money in there. I mean, there's no money for the players. For example, if someone brings a huge
which point are you supporting?
I'm supporting that we should keep
or exodus.
We are. I mean, keeping the team is what I'm talking about. We need to keep the players in there.
So I mean, so you are saying that we should retain them?
Yeah, we should retain them. Okay. And I'm trying to mention the way that we can use to retain these kind of players. And there's one key thing we are not even talking about: supporters, fans going to the stadium. How do we get revenue in the team? Number one, fans ticketing.
That's merchandising.
That's a way that we get our revenue from gate precincts. Number two, sponsorship. And right now we don't even have a headline sponsor for the Ghana Premier League. How do we get it? For a typical example, Kotoko is having some partnership with different companies who's bringing them some money. If it's not enough, what are the fans also doing? Let's ask ourselves, how many people go to the stadium in this season to go and watch football? Okay. In those days our fathers used to go to the stadium. Or even let's talk about Europe. When Europeans are going to watch football, what they do is they take their children along. They take their children along to go and watch football. What does that mean? They are building the love for their children to go to the stadium. In case they are old and they are no more going to the stadium, their children, they build that kind of relationship with the children to the extent that they love to go to the stadium and go and watch football. Today, fans are not going, and because of insecurity in our league, because of the hooliganism and other things that has been happening in our football leagues. If I'm a father and I'm going to watch a football match, I won't allow my son or my daughter to follow me because he's young, he can't run. So I'll tell you, sit at home. It's another thing that is affecting our league, which is why we are not having much supporters or we are not having much fans into the stadium. So if, let's say, for a typical example is Accra Sports Stadium, we are having like 4,000 in Accra Sports Stadium, and then we have for a typical, we have 30,000 people going to watch Asante Kotoko at Accra Sports Stadium. Each and everybody is paying 10 Ghana cedis. How much do you think we are going to make from that money? And isn't it going to help the team to keep their players? It is going to help them. So we should look at fans also patronizing or going to the stadium to go and watch the football.
Usually, I always say this thing is a weak topic on this. Football,
it's
the
a
value of football is very, very huge. we witnessed Shatawale organizing a show at Accra Sports Stadium. The whole stadium was full.
Okay.
A week later, we played a league, and the still you can.
Okay, so how much does it take to get Shatawale to the stadium?
No,
and hold on. How much does it take to get Shatawale to the stadium? And how much is the GFA or a particular team going to get from that crowd? So we should be asking this question.
Missing. That's as a this branding. If they give
no, what I'm saying is, if the team is charging 10 cedis per head,
okay,
and it's getting 40,000 people,
okay.
because Shatawale is coming there.
Okay.
Do you think Shatawale is going to take more than 20,000?
No.
So why is the team not?
Lagos
Look, let's bring Shatawale. Let's bring
Shatawale started those things.
So that's what I'm saying. So why are they not saying bring them, let them pull the crowd, so we make money? They also make money.
Yeah, so I think there is something that the National Sports Authority (NSA) can work with the GFA, that they can collaborate. If you want to get a crowd, I know the crowd, they love entertainment and all those things. You can collaborate and bring some of these celebrities to the fold.
Yes.
Bring the Kwame Eugenes,
Yes.
let them come and perform. Because so if you are doing the flyer, you are doing the program, and say, oh, next week Kotoko versus Olympics.
Okay, so no, you give me a clue. We will start that. We'll initiate that, and then do some partnership with the NSA.
What?
And help the NSA pull the crowd into the stadium. So we'll be going to look for MOU with them, the NSA, and then give them some few ideas that we think can help bring the people to the stadium. Them here, the NSA.
I wanted to talk about for example, with European football. Most of the times, you see, if you are looking for information, you get it. It's very easy to access it. In Ghana, because I'm talking about this because this football thing is a chain. Journalists comes to play, sports analysts come to play, everybody comes to play.
Well, Eugene, I would not allow you to come here.
No,
I want to stop you. No, I want to stop you and make a comment before you continue. I want to stop and make a comment before you continue. What I am saying is that you are giving yourself up because you're a journalist, and all what you have to do is to build your own data. What it is if you are not at the stadium yourself, you can get someone in the stadium to tell you what happened, and you record it. You put it in an Excel sheet, and you can always refer to it. So I don't want you to give yourself up. I don't want us to go there.
Not even that.
I don't want us to go there. Don't think GFA is going to do that.
No, it's not. That's not the point I'm trying to build. That's not the point. But in any case, the GFA has to get also statistics, because if you go to the England EPL, they have a whole table that people go there to access information. I think one thing sometimes with the GFA and also other clubs, sometimes there are informations which you have to get to even give to your people. They will tell you it's confidential information that can bring news, that can bring the interest of people to come and love your club. They will tell you it's confidential. You see a class of folk, let's say they travel to a hotel, and they will tell you they cannot mention the hotel to you. You get it? But if you mention the hotel to someone,
so you should follow them.
No,
you should be a paparazzi.
It's not about the. I'm trying to get something to them.
So you should be a paparazzi, and you should have an insider. Why? Announce that things.
It's not. No. The point I'm trying to make. I want you to understand. No.
You don't need an announcement because all the European clubs, they've got an inside reporter that brings all of it. Chelsea has an inside reporter. They all have the emphasis information
today.
So you should have your way of getting.
No, it's not about that. We can get it all right, but here's the thing. For a typical example, if you go to Chelsea Football Club right now, they are making a board changes. But they've come out with a statement that this is what is happening. Do you see most of the things?
What UG is trying to say that we should have information on our fingertips.
The clubs should and then they should be open.
They should be accountable to them, because supporters, the fan always want to know. They look at they look at to ask you. Then they also club you understand
EPL.
Ability of information for them so that everything can run.
This is just a simple.
No, let's move on. We'll get to the EPL.
No, not the EPL.
We'll get to the EPL.
A simple about a player. For example, we can say that Cristiano Ronaldo went to this hotel. It's not anything new, but someone say, oh yeah, Cristiano, like he has that kind of the guy has money. This is it. But if you come here and those things are there, that those little details or informations bring some love to someone. a typical example, Dubai. Everybody was talking about Dubai.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody was.
So let's move on. Let's move on and take our next story. We're going to look at the Sadio Mane moving to Bayern Munich. But let me just give this announcement before we continue. The Rugby League of Ghana is going to host Oxford University Rugby League or Rugby League, here in Ghana, and they are going to meet them at the airport. That is next month, 11th July, 2022, and 3rd July. No, they're going to be here 1st July, and 3rd July they're going to play the President's Cup, and it's going to be 3rd July at the University of Ghana, 3:30 p.m. We hope to be there, and then they are also going to do the national, national 11, and that is July 9th, 2022. We're hoping to be there to cover that for the Ghana Rugby League. So what we're doing in sports is not only football, is rather that the news that are out there are all football related. That is football related. That's why we're discussing that. But going forward, we would ensure that we get you every information on every sport here. So we're going to talk about Sadio Mane. So Sadio Mane gave the hint that he was peeved at Liverpool, so he wasn't getting the same reward that Salah was getting, and because of that, Salah was egoistic, so he wasn't ready to give him passes sometimes when he knew that he score. The motivation. So when you pay him more, he behaves differently. Why don't you pay me the same? So that quarrel started coming up. Finally, Sadio Mane has left. What does he say for Liverpool? I'll start with you, Eugene.
Well, Sadio Mane leaving Liverpool, I think it's the best move for him because he's not going to any other club than Bayern Munich, one of the best teams in the world. If you are talking about championship and everything, if you go to their league, they have been winning trophies, and it's automatic for you to join with the German league, that is Bayern Munich, and win leagues. So I don't think it's going to have effect on Sadio Mane himself, but it's going to be an effect on Liverpool itself. And I agree with Sadio Mane if he says he's leaving Bayern Munich. They granted an interview and he said when Bayern said they were interested in him, they didn't think twice. Just wanted to make the move. Because how can I, a consistent player, a key player in Liverpool, when I'm taking, is it 100,000? 100,000 a week. While Oxlade-Chamberlain, who has not been playing with injury worries, is taking higher money than I do. It doesn't make sense. And now I'm negotiating with you, increase my salary. You don't want to do it. How do you expect me to stay?
Chamberlain is a Brit, isn't it?
Yeah, he's an England player.
Yeah, he's a Brit. So it's a Brit, so
it doesn't matter. The guy is not playing. Even started this season for Liverpool. Sadio Mane went to Africa, won the African Cup.
And 3 days later,
he was back to Liverpool. He never get a chance to even celebrate. Because he's so important to the team, so he's going to affect the Liverpool team as a whole. Because if you watch the start,
what happens if he doesn't affect Liverpool?
It will affect them.
I said, what happens if he doesn't?
If he doesn't, it's the same Liverpool who is living up to a time where they've also signed players who maybe they have
so there's a possibility that it might not affect them.
There's a possibility, but it will affect them.
But you think differently?
It will, because
so we live to see.
The style of play of Sadio Mane, the impact he gives to the team as Sadio Mane, because he asked to the Robertson, he defends well.
No, what I mean is we live to see.
It will affect them. Surely it will affect them because Luis Diaz cannot perform as Mane. He plays as a first 9. He plays as a left wing. He comes to play as a 10. He has that kind of mobility.
So George, what do you think?
I grew up to love.
So we have on the screen Sadio Mane displaying a jersey, and it has 2025. What does it mean? So a contract from now to so a 3-year contract. And you're wondering how much Sadio will be making out of this whole thing. He's even started playing with the jersey on. So we're looking up to him and see what he's going to do for the Bayern Munich team. I wonder, and I'm looking at how he's going to fit team. So we live to see how it's going to be, and as Eugene said, we live to see how it's going to impact on the Liverpool team. He thinks it's going to impact, but I think otherwise. I think it might not. What do you think, George?
I grew to love the personality of Sadio Mane, not only on the field of play alone. His humanitarian behavior, what he does for his people at Senegal when he goes. Just recently, they were playing football and they were playing in the mud. It was raining and he was also playing with them. That shows you the caliber of player that is. That way is humble at the lowest level to achieve what he wants. When you look at the trio of Liverpool, you look at Firmino, you look at Salah, you look at Mane, the telepathic impact that they play, the communication. When Mane is moving, Salah understands that Mane is going to move this. Of Salah to even pass the ball, he just passes the ball with his outside of his boot because he understands what Mane can do. Mane's transfer from Southampton to Liverpool for more than 30 years that they haven't won the league. Mane helped them Champions League back to back, FIFA World Club Cup, Super Cup. We saw the influence of Sadio Mane. Played about 236 leagues in the Premier League, scoring about 101 goals in the league. This shows you a player that contributes phenomenally into the development of Liverpool, and for Liverpool achieving all that they've achieved under Jurgen Klopp shows what Sadio Mane has done. And I think I always say money is kind of motivation. You know, when I'm being treated well, I'm being paid well, I'm being financed well, it gives me that edge. See what Mane has done to Mbappe, that Mbappe has stayed. If you are giving Sadio Mane that kind of money, Sadio Mane Bayern, and you look at a system around Bayern, I think he can fit in perfectly. The Bundesliga doesn't give you much pressure, and at his age 30, I think looking at what he's also going to get 250k a week, comparing to the 150 plus that is going to get. I think that is going to help him a lot. Now we are going to look at players that are going to play at Bayern. The build up is very good. They like to play more of like how Liverpool fluidity and passing of the game, and he's going to meet teams that he can score them easily because he has been scoring teams that are of a higher standard in the Premier League than what is in the German Bundesliga. So I think he would show them.
Don't you think Sadio Mane went for passion rather than business? So he went for passion rather.
Yeah.
He didn't go for business.
I'm
sure. So it is his choice.
Yes.
You settle for less, you get what you settled for. You don't.
I think he wanted a new.
So he went for passion.
He went for passion. I think going for
playing AFCON.
Yes.
Finishing AFCON the next 3 days, you are still on the pitch playing for Liverpool. So he wasn't ready for the business. That's all.
Yeah, I think it's the passion, what he loves to do, and I think maybe he wanted to explore a new environment, find out how things goes on. I think, as you said, went to one of the best clubs. I think the money was just an aspect of what he is and what he demands. So the kind of player that he is, this is the kind of quality of money, or this is the kind of revenue that he has to get. The money is something. But
so what I mean is, for Bayern Munich, he's doing business. Yes. But at Liverpool, he was rather playing for passion.
At Liverpool, he was playing for, but he got to extend that. I think the whole hierarchy, the owners of Liverpool should have understood that you have.
They took him for granted.
Yes, you have a player that a player that has added up to more than 30 years. You've won the league. At least push money to him. If you push money to him and he's not taking the money, we know that he's not taking the money. But there's nothing that showed. There's nothing that was showing up that they were giving Sadio Mane incentives. They were giving money that he didn't want. Because most definitely, if I said I want to renew your contract and I'm going to increase your salary to maybe 200,000 pounds a week, I would have loved it. What is the contract entails and everything. Passion is there, but you can't play passion with your empty stomach.
So Eugene, you say money makes things right or make things good.
Money
is destroying things. Because you see what happened at Barcelona.
Building
Messi alone made the team go down, and then
this Messi
now when he was leaving, he had to leave because the team was losing. Team was dying.
I think.
Then he left. and the team seem to be picking a bit.
Wait,
No, don't say that. Don't say the team is being pick a bit. But organizing wedding on Camp Nou to generate revenue.
Why don't you organize to generate?
Oh, come on.
No, but Aubameyang has settled in very well.
With Barca,
isn't it?
They don't have money.
Aubameyang has.
They don't have money.
Yeah, that's why it doesn't necessarily have to be money. That's what I'm saying. You said money is good. Money makes things work well. But you see, money destroyed Barcelona.
But if
hold on, money destroyed Barcelona.
It didn't
money
destroy
is almost destroying
money didn't destroy Barcelona. It was the management who destroyed Barcelona. Because as the case, you made like
Joan Laporte.
No, not Joan Laporte, like useless signings that we never like. What can,
and one person was getting so much.
You signed Griezmann, huge sum of money to come and compete with Messi as a number 10 in your team. It's not possible.
Yeah, Messi.
You signed Coutinho.
I think that was a replacement.
It was not a replacement.
No, what they wanted to do was try to build some kind of succession. Succession plan. So Messi is leaving, then somebody fixes it.
If you look at the Barca team and if you look at Messi, if you want to do or build someone to take over when Messi leaves, it's not someone.
You don't pick Griezmann.
Somebody who's already
not like Coutinho.
Not like someone like Coutinho. Because when Coutinho is playing Liverpool, he was their star man, a playmaker. Now he is a man on his own. He is Coutinho. So when he comes into
he cannot
team,
follow. He cannot understand.
He's come to compete with Messi automatically. That is not you are come to replace him. And Messi was nowhere going to sit down for you to come and play. Messi is Messi, and how they made Messi in the Barca team was one of their.
He was a spirit. He was a spirit.
Eto'o once said Messi is God in Barcelona.
Yes, he was a spirit.
And we have to understand that Barca is the management which destroyed it. What is now
documentary Barcelona. I've done quickly about to the CVC is there. If even can get into
okay, so we'll be getting it for you if you want it. Let's see. This time, why decided to play for the Netherlands? Why he got angry because his father decision to want to play for Ghana. Qualified for the World Cup. This is positive. I don't know of the Ashanti region. And after that, to meet the team. We'll try and see. I'll check with you, my guy, why Memphis now.
I think this is not the first time coming to Ghana. He has a mission in Ghana that he wants to help. This is not the first time he has been coming here. I think his decision to play for that is, I think, it's not a decision that he has been humanitarian level to make in Ghana because it's back.
Oh yes. President.
He gave the president.
What? Letting
I think point what he wants, the president, what him. I think and he also plays. I think he and he saw all the players, or he saw all that when they go, they're able to come and generate resources into what we should applaud him. It's something on you look at the that he was playing Medina, he was his skills and he's even selling the Barcelona. Barca is going to play. If it's also play, so even selling.
Trying to.
They coming to Africa. If you decide to play for the national team, that's nationality switch, bringing people that to
things are getting better. It tells us that we know of course to wrap up. Which Ghanaian players are making moves okay.
I'm also
sometimes
Justice Blake. There's an insight.
Oh, okay.
He got a lot. Yes, he has gotten a lot.
Okay, so the
wish we had
Samatex. I think
looks interesting.
And
it's big.
They've come to the main league. They look at they should understand that in the division where they will pay they should buy more. I wanted to talk about full zone B that is happening at the Cape Coast.
Okay.
But the Ghana Football Association is now developing rather than this
just quick one, they promoted New Institute Mine. I think they are starting their own, they have their own. These three things for the Ghana Premier League or Wadako Tokuro.
Out of
so that people have a lot of fans, the team that paid these things come in India impact in the congratulations to all of them.
okay.
Yeah, we are hoping that like they will just have a lot of and we are looking to them to the next Premier League.
Okay. and thank you very much. A lot of things so that we come. Then this one says, "Say, my name is told we that he would tell us the players in the stars when we name the players. I don't think I can the show and give you the say is that and you can call me to Eugene journalists at always keep drive here.